When it comes to fruits, most people assume that if it's natural and grows on a tree or vine, it must be good for you. But that's not always the case. While many fruits are packed with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants, some can do more harm than good, especially if eaten frequently or in large amounts. So watch to the end so you don't miss the most important things, and make sure you subscribe and like this video so you don't lose it and don't miss new ones. Let's start with the 5 fruits you should think twice before eating, and why they might not deserve the health halo they often get. First on the list is the durian. Known as the king of fruits in Southeast Asia, durian is infamous for its pungent smell. But the issue isn't just about its odor. Durian is extremely high in calories. One whole fruit can contain over 1,000 calories, and it's loaded with simple sugars. If you're trying to maintain a balanced diet or watch your weight, this fruit can easily throw you off track. Additionally, people with high blood pressure or heart issues are often advised to avoid it due to its impact on blood vessel constriction. Next up is lychee. On the surface, lychee seems harmless, sweet, juicy, exotic. But lychee, especially when consumed on an empty stomach, has been linked to hypoglycemia and even fatal encephalopathy in children in certain parts of India. Unripe lychees contain toxins that can disrupt glucose metabolism. This is not to say that lychees are poisonous to everyone, but if you eat a lot of them or have blood sugar sensitivity, it's wise to be cautious. Third on the list is star fruit. It's beautiful and often used as a garnish, but it can be toxic to individuals with kidney problems. Star fruit contains neurotoxins that healthy kidneys can usually filter out. But in people with even mild renal impairment, these toxins can build up quickly and cause confusion, seizures, and even death. This fruit is not dangerous for everyone, but unless you know your kidney function is perfect, it's best to skip it. Number 4 is rambutan. Much like lychee, it's sugary and tropical, but the seed inside is toxic if ingested raw. The fruit's outer skin also contains irritants that can cause allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Overeating rambutan can also spike blood sugar rapidly due to its high fructose content. While having 1 or 2 may not be harmful, eating several at once regularly could contribute to long-term metabolic issues. Finally, we have grapefruit. Now this may surprise some people since grapefruit is often seen as a diet food. However, grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins, which interfere with enzymes in your liver that metabolize drugs. This means eating grapefruit while taking medications like statins, blood pressure pills, or antihistamines can cause the drugs to build up in your system to dangerous levels. For people on medication, this fruit can pose serious health risks and should be avoided unless cleared by a doctor. Now that we've covered the risky fruits, it's important to remember not all fruits are dangerous. In fact, some are incredibly beneficial, particularly for long-term health, inflammation control, heart function, and cognitive performance. One such fruit you absolutely should include in your diet is blueberries. These little berries pack a serious nutritional punch. They are among the highest antioxidant-rich fruits available, specifically anthocyanins, which help fight oxidative stress, reduce inflammation, and support brain health. Multiple studies have shown that regular blueberry consumption can improve memory, delay brain aging, and enhance cardiovascular function. Blueberries are also low in calories and sugar, making them suitable for diabetics and weight-conscious individuals. Another must-eat fruit is kiwi. This small, fuzzy fruit is often overlooked, but it's loaded with vitamin C, almost twice the amount found in oranges. It also contains actinidin, an enzyme that helps with protein digestion, and has been shown to support healthy sleep thanks to its serotonin content. Kiwi is excellent for immune health, digestion, and reducing oxidative damage. Eating 1 or 2 kiwis a day can provide a noticeable boost to your overall vitality. The third superstar fruit is avocado. Yes, it's a fruit, even if we usually eat it like a vegetable. Avocados are unique in that they are rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, especially oleic acid. They're also a good source of potassium, fiber, and folate. Regular avocado consumption has been linked to lower LDL cholesterol, improved satiety, and reduced risk of metabolic syndrome. Unlike high-sugar fruits, avocado can actually stabilize blood sugar and support weight loss. Another highly recommended fruit is pomegranate. Often called a superfruit, pomegranate is rich in polyphenol like punicalagins and ellagic acid, which have powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Drinking pomegranate juice has been shown to lower blood pressure, improve cholesterol, and combat prostate and breast cancers. The seeds also contain fiber, and help support digestion. Including pomegranate in your diet just a few times a week can yield long-term health benefits. Finally, let's talk about apples. Yes, the humble apple still holds up as a nutritional powerhouse. Apples are high in soluble fiber, especially pectin, which supports gut health and helps control blood sugar levels. They also contain quercetin, a flavonoid with anti-inflammatory and antihistamine effects. Eating an apple a day really does help keep the doctor away, particularly if you're looking to regulate appetite, improve digestion, and support heart health. In the next section, we'll go deeper into the science behind why these 5 fruits deserve a permanent place in your kitchen, and explore a few myths about fruits that have gotten undeserved reputations over the years. Let's take a deeper look at what makes the 5 must-eat fruits not just healthy, but true nutritional powerhouses. Starting again with blueberries, it's worth emphasizing just how concentrated their antioxidant content really is. The main compounds responsible for their dark blue hue, anthocyanins, don't just look pretty, they actively scavenge free radicals that damage cells and accelerate aging. Multiple clinical studies have linked blueberry consumption with improved insulin sensitivity, lower blood pressure, and better memory performance in both children and older adults. They also contain small amounts of resveratrol, the same compound that gives red wine its heart protective properties. And the best part? They have a low glycemic index, meaning they won't cause blood sugar spikes, making them ideal even for those with diabetes or insulin resistance. You can eat them fresh, frozen, or even dried. Just avoid those coated in sugar. Kiwi, our second fruit, often gets ignored in favor of trendier options like acai or goji berries, but gram for gram, kiwi offers more nutritional density. Beyond the high vitamin C content, kiwi is also a rare natural source of vitamin E, which supports skin and immune function. Its high fiber content helps with bowel regularity, and it's one of the few fruits shown to reduce platelet aggregation, meaning it may help prevent blood clots. Studies have even linked kiwi consumption to reduced symptoms of asthma and improved respiratory function, likely due to its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory profile. Eating 2 kiwis an hour before bedtime has also been shown to improve sleep onset and quality in people with insomnia. Now onto avocados. Their popularity has exploded in recent years, and it's no fad. Avocados provide more potassium than bananas and are one of the few fruits that provide a significant amount of healthy fats. These fats help the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. They also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoids that support eye health and reduce risk of age-related macular degeneration. Despite being calorie-dense, research shows that avocado consumers tend to weigh less and have smaller waist circumferences than non-consumers. This likely comes from the satiety effect of their fiber-fat combo, which curbs overeating. Just half an avocado added to a meal can significantly increase feelings of fullness for hours. Pomegranate, our 4th superstar, goes beyond antioxidants. The compounds in pomegranate have been shown to inhibit enzymes involved in cartilage degradation, making it potentially helpful for joint health and conditions like osteoarthritis. Pomegranate juice has also been studied for its role in improving sperm quality in men and reducing oxidative stress markers across the body. Its polyphenol may help suppress tumor growth in early stages of certain cancers. And the edible seeds, called arils, are packed with fiber, which supports digestion and gut bacteria. A small bowl of pomegranate arils can provide a significant portion of your daily fiber without loading up on sugar. As for apples, while they may seem basic, they're anything but boring. A medium apple has around 4 grams of fiber, most of which is in the skin, so skip the peeling. Apple polyphenol help regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and even enhance fat oxidation during exercise. One compound in particular, ursolic acid, found in apple peels, has been shown to boost muscle growth and reduce fat accumulation in animal studies. In humans, apples have been linked to lower risk of stroke, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain cancers. Plus, they travel well and require no preparation, making them an easy daily habit. Now, returning to the 5 fruits you should avoid, let's revisit why they pose problems. Durian, for example, not only packs excessive calories, but it's also rich in sulfur compounds that interact negatively with alcohol. Drinking while eating durian can overload your liver and may even cause fainting or other cardiovascular symptoms. For people with liver conditions, this can be dangerous. While it's okay to try durian for the experience, it's best not to make it a staple. Lychee's main danger comes from its high content of hypoglycin A and MCBG, two toxins that suppress glucose production. In poorly nourished children, especially those who eat lychee on an empty stomach, this can lead to a dangerous drop in blood sugar and even death. That's why the outbreaks in India tend to happen during lychee season, especially among kids who skip dinner. Even healthy adults should avoid unripe lychees and be mindful of portion size. Starfruit remains a risk for people with undiagnosed kidney issues. The problem is, most people don't know their kidney function until something goes wrong. The fruit's neurotoxin, caramboxin, cannot be filtered effectively when the kidneys are impaired, and it accumulates in the bloodstream. Even 1 or 2 starfruits can trigger symptoms like confusion, hiccups, and seizures in susceptible people. Rambutan is somewhat safer, but again, the seed is toxic and should never be consumed. The spiky exterior can also harbor mold or bacteria if not properly washed. Plus, like lychee, its sugar content is extremely high for such a small fruit. Eating a handful of rambutans could spike your blood sugar higher than a can of soda. Lastly, grapefruit's reputation as a healthy breakfast option has blinded many to its real risk. Its enzyme-blocking compounds can interfere with over 85 different medications. This isn't a mild interaction. It can cause drug toxicity or ineffectiveness. People taking medications for anxiety, depression, cholesterol, or heart disease should steer clear unless specifically approved by their doctor. Even small amounts of grapefruit juice can throw off the body's ability to metabolize certain drugs. In Part 3, we'll break down how to shop smarter when choosing fruits, how to avoid hidden dangers in dried or processed varieties, and how to structure a fruit-friendly diet that supports both taste and longevity. Navigating the world of fruits at the grocery store or farmer's market can be tricky if you don't know what to look for. Packaging, marketing terms, and even visual appearance can all be misleading. A fruit that looks ripe, juicy, and colorful might be genetically modified for shelf life and not for nutrition. Others may be sprayed with heavy pesticides or stripped of fiber and nutrients during processing. Understanding these traps will help you make smarter decisions. First, let's talk about dried fruits. Many people assume dried fruits are just as healthy as their fresh counterparts, but that's not always the case. Dried fruits are often treated with sulfites to preserve color and shelf life, which can trigger asthma or allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. On top of that, most commercially available dried fruits have added sugar, significantly raising their glycemic load. A handful of dried cranberries, for example, often has more added sugar than actual cranberry. Raisins, dried mangoes, and apricots are also calorie-dense and easy to overeat. If you do consume dried fruit, go for the unsweetened, unsulfured versions and treat them more like a condiment than a snack. Next up is fruit juice. Fruit juice is one of the most common health traps. Even if it's labeled 100% juice, that doesn't make it good for you. Juicing strips away all the fiber, leaving behind a sugary liquid that spikes blood sugar and offers far less satiety than whole fruit. Orange juice, for example, can contain over 20 grams of sugar in a small glass, which is comparable to soda. And without fiber to slow digestion, your body quickly converts that sugar into fat. A better approach is to eat the whole fruit, or, if you must have juice, limit it to 4-ounce servings and always pair it with a meal that contains protein or fat to blunt the sugar spike. Also be cautious with fruit smoothies. While they sound healthy, most are loaded with multiple servings of fruit, sweetened yogurt, and even juice or sorbet. A green smoothie from a popular chain might contain apple juice, pineapple, and mango, turning it into a sugar bomb disguised as health food. If you make smoothies at home, focus on low-sugar fruits like berries, add leafy greens, and balance it with a source of fat like chia seeds or avocado. That way, you retain fiber, antioxidants, and satiety. Organic versus conventional fruit is another minefield. Not all fruits are equally affected by pesticides. The Environmental Working Group, EWG, releases a yearly list called the Dirty Dozen, which highlights fruits and vegetables with the highest pesticide residues. Strawberries, apples, and grapes are frequently on this list. If you eat a lot of these, it's worth choosing organic when possible. On the flip side, fruits like bananas, avocados, and pineapples have thick skins that protect the edible portion from pesticide contamination, making organic less crucial. Washing fruits thoroughly, even organic ones, is essential. Many are coated in wax to improve appearance. and this wax can trap bacteria and chemicals. Use a produce brush or soak them in a solution of vinegar and water to help remove residues. Another tip is to rotate your fruit intake. Eating the same fruit every single day, especially in high amounts, can create issues, even if it's a healthy one. For instance, while bananas are rich in potassium and fiber, they're also relatively high in sugar and low in micronutrient diversity. Having a banana every morning for a year straight could contribute to blood sugar issues or mineral imbalances. Variety ensures you get a wider range of phytonutrients, and it minimizes the risk of accumulating specific pesticides or compounds that might only be found in one kind of fruit. Pay attention also to how you combine fruits. Certain combinations can work synergistically. For instance, pairing vitamin C-rich fruits like kiwi or oranges with iron-rich plant foods can enhance iron absorption. On the other hand, combining acidic fruits like citrus with dairy can cause digestive discomfort in some individuals. Experiment and listen to your body. If a particular fruit or fruit combo consistently causes bloating, cramping, or fatigue, it might not be working for you, even if it's healthy on paper. For people with metabolic syndrome, diabetes, or weight concerns, favoring low glycemic fruits like berries, cherries, grapefruit, only if you're not on medication, green apples, and pears can help manage blood sugar more effectively. These fruits have a lower impact on insulin and are generally more nutrient-dense per calorie. For gut health, go for fruits that are high in prebiotic fiber. Bananas, especially slightly underripe ones, apples, and pomegranates feed beneficial gut bacteria, which in turn support immunity, mood, and metabolism. Avoid overripe tropical fruits if you're trying to reduce sugar intake. Mangoes, pineapples, and papayas are delicious but can contain 30+ grams of sugar in a single serving. A helpful mindset shift is to think of fruit not as a snack, but as part of a meal. Instead of eating a bowl of grapes on their own, combine a small portion with cottage cheese, nuts, or hard-boiled eggs to create a balanced plate. This way, fruit serves its purpose, providing fiber, hydration, and vitamins, without creating a blood sugar roller coaster. Finally, consider seasonal and local fruits whenever possible. These tend to be fresher, more nutritious, and more environmentally friendly. A strawberry picked in season from a local farm will always taste better and contain more antioxidants than one shipped halfway around the world and grown in a greenhouse. In the final part, we'll wrap up with myth-busting some danger claims about fruits, talk about who should avoid certain types of fruit altogether, and give you a practical strategy to enjoy fruit intelligently without falling for the common traps that sabotage health goals. Let's finish by tackling some of the biggest myths surrounding fruit consumption and set the record straight on who should be cautious and how to include fruit intelligently in your daily routine. One of the most persistent myths is that all fruit is inherently fattening because of its sugar content. This stems from the fact that fruits contain fructose, a natural sugar that, when overconsumed in processed form like high fructose corn syrup, is linked to obesity and fatty liver disease. However, the fructose in whole fruit behaves very differently in the body. Because fruit contains fiber, water, and numerous phytonutrients, the absorption of sugar is slowed dramatically. This means eating a banana or a pear is not the same as drinking a sugary soda or eating a candy bar, even if the sugar content looks similar on paper. That said, not everyone tolerates fruit the same way. People with insulin resistance, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes need to be selective. For these individuals, low glycemic fruits like berries, cherries, green apples, grapefruit, and kiwi are often better choices than bananas, grapes, mangoes, or watermelon. The key is moderation and pairing fruit with fats or proteins to reduce glucose spikes. Another common myth is that fruit cleanses the body or detoxes your system. The truth is, your liver and kidneys do all the detoxing your body needs. No fruit can remove heavy metals or cleanse your blood. However, some fruits do support the liver's natural detox functions. Pomegranate and lemon, for example, are rich in compounds that enhance glutathione activity and liver enzyme efficiency. But calling them detox foods is misleading. They support detox, they don't perform it. A separate but widespread belief is that eating fruit on an empty stomach is healthier or that it should be eaten alone. This theory has no scientific basis. In fact, eating fruit with other macronutrients like fat and protein can blunt the glycemic impact and keep you full longer. There's nothing wrong with having fruit on an empty stomach, but it's not a magic health trick, and in some cases, like with lychee, it can even be risky. For people with gut sensitivity or IBS, certain fruits can trigger bloating, gas, or discomfort due to FODMAPs, fermentable carbs that are poorly absorbed in the small intestine. Apples, pears, watermelon, and stone fruits like peaches or plums are common culprits. If you frequently get digestive issues from fruit, look into low FODMAP options like berries, kiwi, pineapple, or citrus fruits. And always pay attention to your personal response. When building a fruit strategy for daily life, think quality and timing first. Choose whole fruits over juice or dried versions. Eat them in the first half of the day when your insulin sensitivity is higher and your body is more active. Combine fruit with breakfast or as a midday addition to a balanced meal. Avoid relying on fruit as a dessert or eating large amounts right before bed when your metabolism slows down. For those focused on weight loss, limit high-sugar fruits to once a day and lean into those with more fiber and water content, like berries, melons, or citrus. One effective strategy is the fruit window approach. Allocate a specific time each day, say 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for eating fruit, and keep portions moderate. This prevents mindless snacking and trains the body to handle natural sugars efficiently. For athletes or active individuals, fruit can play a different role. Post-workout, the body is primed to absorb glucose and restore glycogen levels. This is a great time to consume higher sugar fruits like bananas, mangoes, or grapes, ideally paired with protein. In this case, the sugar is beneficial, not harmful. For older adults, fruits rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds become particularly important. Regular intake of blueberries, pomegranate, and kiwi can help slow cognitive decline, reduce joint pain, and improve sleep, key aspects of healthy aging. Hydrating fruits like watermelon, oranges, and cucumbers also help prevent dehydration, which becomes more common with age. Finally, let's revisit the 5 fruits to avoid and put it in perspective. These are not fruits that will kill you if you eat them once or twice. They're just not ideal for regular consumption, especially if you have underlying conditions or specific sensitivities. Durian is fine for the occasional culinary adventure. Lychee is safe when ripe and eaten in moderation with food. Starfruit should be avoided if you have kidney issues. Rambutan should be peeled and eaten with caution. And grapefruit must be avoided by people on many medications. The goal isn't to fear fruit, but to understand it. All fruits are not created equal. Some are metabolic allies, others are dietary landmines. The difference lies in your body's needs, your health goals, and your awareness. Don't blindly assume that everything in the produce aisle is a green light. Be intentional. Know your body. Know your fruit. In the end, fruit should be part of a colorful, diverse, and nutrient-dense diet, but not the only thing on your plate. Use the information from this guide to make smarter choices, and you'll enjoy all the sweet, juicy benefits without falling into the common traps that undermine so many well-meaning health efforts.